Hello, it is I, your boy Gomi, and we are back with another UFC fight tonight. It has been, not quite some time, but it's been a little bit. Last card we had, which was UFC Noche, and if you watched my video, you saw that I was on point with a lot of stuff. On the main card, actually, I was 100% right. Actually, no, I think actually I got 3 fights 100% right. But the case is, pretty much every fight, regardless, went exactly how I figured and said it would go, except for the co-main event, which I was just on the wrong side of the decision. I thought it'd be good also decision. But yeah, it all pretty much unfolded how I expected. There was a lot of really good fights, but the guys fighting were too tough to probably get finished. Looking at you, Ortega. But yep, overall, solid, decent card. But we're now going to Paris. And let's see if this card can outshine it, which I feel it probably can. This looks to be a pretty solid card, to be honest with you. But let's see. And we know that Paris crowd is great. So, first fight on the card is going to be Balaji Oki versus Chris Duncan. I've taken Chris Duncan, I don't want to say too many times. He's only lost twice, but Chris Duncan, he really let me down his last fight against Manuel Torres. I was just not a fan of how he fought. He's just too reckless, honestly. Balaji Oki, man, it's a little bit of a, I don't know, I still think it's a little bit too early for him to be like this really touted prospect, because I've heard a lot of people talking good things about him, saying he's gonna wipe the floor with Duncan. I think Balaji Oki will win, but I'm gonna give it a decision. I don't think he's gonna be an effective finisher in the spot against Duncan, to be honest with you. I know his last like 3 or 4 fights were all finishes, I get it, but I feel Duncan's a little bit of a step up. But we'll see. There's a chance Duncan can get reckless, slip up and mess up and get finished. I'm going Oki by decision. Looking at the odds, Oki is... okay, he's gone down as a favorite. I believe when I was looking at it, he was like 250. I looked at a few early odds. I don't normally do that. But yeah, looks like he's dropped down to minus 192 in most places. A few places have minus 200. So, a little bit of a favorite. I agree with that. Balaji Oki decision for me. Nora Cornell versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I believe this is a rematch, if I wrote correctly in my notes. Yes, this is indeed a rematch. I forgot. I think it was Cavalcanti who won. Jesus Christ. Yes, Cavalcanti had won. That was many years ago, back in 2021 at FFAC. I'm still going to go with Cavalcanti, to be honest with you. I feel like neither woman has made leaps and bounds in improvements. I feel Cornell has improved a little bit, but I feel Cavalcanti overall has improved the same amount or even a little bit more. She's cleaner with the striking. She's got a little power, unfortunately. A lot of women's MMA fighters do, but I'm going to have to go still with Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm going to go with the same way the first fight went, which was a decision. But I will say we have had a few women's MMA matches that were rematches that were kind of unwarranted, and everyone's like, oh, nothing's changed, gonna go the same way. And I will say it went the exact opposite way. I can't remember the example, but it was like 2 months ago, and I was tempted to make that a lock of the night, and I was very happy I didn't, because it went the opposite way, but I still bet it. Regardless, Cavalcanti decision is going to be my pick. I'm going to assume she's a pretty big favorite. No, moderate favorite, hovering around minus 200, same thing as Oki. Daniel Barres versus Victor Ultramarian. See, like, this is one of the word, like, last names I've heard before. I've said it before. I just can't say it now. Yeah, I believe it's Hispanic. That never heard a Hispanic last name like that. Then again, I don't. Despite living in a very Hispanic area, I don't know many Hispanic people. But yes, Barres, really good striking. Really good, nice combos, good leg kicks. I like his body work. His main problem is really going to be his ground game, but Victor, his ground game is not the best, but he's got that Mexican chin. He is tough, he is durable, gritty. If it's a finish, which Barres, I could see him finishing most guys. I don't think he'll finish Victor unless he goes to the body. I've seen like body work can be effective against Victor, But overall, I'm going to be going with Daniel Bartes. I really wanted to go TKO. I really wrote down everything TKO wherever. But then I just thought about it. I'm like, Victor's tough. Has he been TKO'd before? I got to look this up. I don't think he's been TKO'd before, to be honest with you, of his 4 losses. Yeah, no, not been knocked out once. He's only been submitted and 3 decisions. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Daniel Bartes to get it done by decision. And Bartes is going to be minus 238. Pretty big favorite. Jesus Christ. Daria Zelenzniakova versus Aline Perez. I don't like this fight. Daria, very basic. Perez, really good pressure grappling that could lead to a grindy kind of decision. It's all I'm gonna really have to say about this one. Otherwise, I'm not super into this matchup, to be perfectly honest with you. I know Daria has quite a decent number of knockouts for women's MMA, but most of those were again on the regional scene. Since she got into the UFC, it's really been 1 decision. That's it, and I can honestly see it going the same way. I don't know, actually. I think I want to lean towards Aline Perez, to be honest with you. I just like the grindy wrestling of her a little bit better. I think she's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to go with Aline Perez decision, actually. Is that what I wrote down, actually? Yeah, I did right. Perez decision. So, yeah. I almost talked myself into Daria, to be honest with you. And Aline Perez is a pretty big favorite. Minus 238. Wow. Is there any, like, close fights here? Or is this just a favorite card? Taylor Laplice versus Vince Morales. Not much on this one, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't got a whole ton, so I'm not going to go heavily into it. All I can say about Taylor Laplice is he's a very, very point fighter, honestly. He's got good tips. He's good at fighting on the inside. While Vince Morales is the guy who I just know the absolute low least of. It's his UFC debut, coming off a loss, I believe it was. Was it a loss? Was it not a loss? I don't think it was a loss. Regardless, not a huge fan of either guy, to be honest with you. I think this fight's going to go a distance. I won't make a pick because, like I said, I just don't have enough info on either guy. Ludovic, well, not enough info on Vince. I got a decent bit of info, please. Ludovic Klein versus Roosevelt Roberts. This one should be a decent fight if it goes the Roberts way. If it goes the Klein way, he's a very slick striker. Very slick striker. He's got a really good ground game, to be actually honest with you. Roberts, he's good on the ground, though. But he's not... I don't know if he'll get it to the ground. I don't like his takedown efficiency. 29% is extremely low. And like I said, Klein, if he gets fights to the ground, he can be slick occasionally. So if it stands on the feet, I got Klein all the way. I definitely think Klein will win this fight, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to be going with another decision. Surprise, surprise. Just nothing but decisions on my end. But I think that's the most likely aspect. I could also see Klein possibly sneaking out of submission, or even Roberts sneaking out of submission. Both guys I like on the ground, so we'll pause. So we'll see. Odds wise, Klein is a massive favorite. Yeah, like if that's okay, I don't even talk about this, don't bet this, but that makes sense because I don't think Roberts is getting to the ground. Klein will piece him up on the feet. Minus 1,000 though, you have to be absolutely fucking insane to put minus 1,000 anything on Ludovic Klein. I wouldn't put more than minus 300 anything on Ludovic Klein, but oh well, you guys do you. And now, oh my god, he always looks so stupid. He has such a baby face too. Why is he puffed up like that? Omar Sy versus Da Woong Jung. This should be an explosive fight. Light heavyweights have a kind of tendency to suck nowadays. They're very exciting. Not very. Okay, they can have some exciting fights, but nowadays they kind of suck. Simple as that. I don't want to say it, but just the UFC light heavyweight division is not what it once was. But this is going to be a perfect testament to what the UFC light heavyweight division is. 2 guys with some good power going at each other, trying to kill each other. That's going to be it. Sy is a very dangerous grappler, tons of power, very high pressure, very tactical, super long reach at 83 inches. And he's got good takedowns. Jung has a good jab, and he can get very reckless if it needs to be. He can get in the pocket, kind of fight out through there. But yeah, I just gotta go Omar Sy. I think Omar Sy is gonna be a clear W. I think he's gonna keep the undefeated streak. I think he'll piece him up. Initially, I wanted to do another decision, but I'm gonna take TKO because I think if it gets down to the ground, he's gonna get some massive ground and pound. So I'm going. Oh, excuse me. I'm going Omar Sy to get it done by TKO. My first finish prediction of the night. And we're almost at the main card. I hope I'm wrong on that. I really hope I am. Next is going to be Ion Cutelaba versus Yvlan. Oh, odds. Omar Sy is a big favorite. I don't even look at it. Yeah, it's minus 520. Ion Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. I'm bad at Cutelaba fights. You guys know this. I've done a few fights on the channel now. I'm bad at picking Ion Cutelaba fights. Like, one time he'll fight like a dumbass. Next time he'll fight extremely like tactical and very like safe, and then he'll lose because he's fighting too safe. It's a little bit of a mixed bag with Ion Cutelaba. I'm not a fan of the guy, simple as that. He could have some fun fights, like I said about late heavyweights earlier. They could have some fun fights, but just his reckless nature just leads to him taking shots, getting stuck in just dumb spots, and just problems. Yvlan Erslan, on the other hand, he can be very tactical. I like him. He's a very slick striker. He's got dangerous kicks. That's the main thing that I don't ever really see light heavyweights doing as much other than the champion, which is leg kicks. And Ion Cutelaba, I don't know how he's going to be handling those leg kicks of Yvlan Erslan. So give me Yvlan Erslan to get it done. I believe he's Croatian, which is close enough to my nationality. Let's see. If he's Croatian, I'm definitely rooting for him. I mean, I'm rooting for him regardless, but I'll actually root. Yes, he's Croatian. I'm technically Serbian, but it all comes from Yugoslavia. That's where my family hailed from, so give me a Croatian fighter to replace Krokop. There's been a few, but yep. Yep, I'm gonna be going Yvlan Erslan. I'm gonna have to go with TKO. I don't see Cutelaba fights going the distance ever, honestly, and occasionally, but yeah. And now we are on to the main. Oh, by the way, it's a pick'em. And we're now on to the main card. Fares Ziam versus Matt Frivola. I got burned on Frivola's last fight. I got burned bad. Was that a year ago? Has it been a year since he fought? I'm talking about the Benoit Saint-Denis fight, by the way. Wow, why has it been a year since you fought, dude? Like, yeah, he got knocked out pretty bad. But still, what the hell, man? It's been a year since he's fought, really? Yeah, I don't know. Fares Ziam, he's more of a point fighter. He's really good at just kind of like playing a pace, picking apart from distance, while Matt Frivola is a guy who really strives himself in the chaos. And when it gets to be a very chaotic brawl, that's where he really shines, really goes in the pocket. Look at his fight against Drew Dober, Otman Izatar. He just goes for it. Round one. When's the last time he got out of round one, homie? Against Saryukin. Wait, what was that? Back in 2018, right? Let's see. Nope, 2021. Jeez, I was way off. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Fares Ziam is definitely gonna be a person who can pick him apart across 3 rounds, but I don't see Matt Frivola fights going like that. Finish or get finished. I just don't really see it unless you're a very tactical grappler like Arman Saryukin. Fares Ziam is a striker. He's a pretty technical kickboxer. I just see Frivola piecing him up. He could take him down too. Frivola did have a nice slam, and Benoit Saint-Denis was a very accomplished grappler. So I'm gonna go Frivola to get it done by TKO. Simple as that. Odds wise, Frivola's the underdog. I love that as an underdog pick. Because again, like, you're expecting Fares Ziam to stall out for that long? Yeesh. The only reason I can give Fares Ziam the benefit of the doubt to be able to do that is the long layoff for Matt Frivola. But who knows? Maybe he's sharpened up and he's coming back better than ever. I'd love to see it. I like Frivola. He just burned me in the last fight. But then again, that's because of my penchant for always picking against Benoit Saint-Denis. Thankfully, the one time I didn't, I was saved. Wait. No. I'm stupid. Forgive me. The last time I did pick against him, I was saved by my boy Dustin. On to the next fight, Morgan Charrier versus Gabriel Miranda. Give me Morgan Charrier, just because I don't like Gabriel Miranda's mustache. It's okay. I don't know. In all actuality, I just think Morgan Charrier is going to be the better striker. Simple as that. Gabriel Miranda can be a little bit of grindy. He's one of them Brazilians who could definitely do some work. The main problem is he is a guy who just doesn't have high takedown accuracy, shoots a lot of takedowns. He really wants to fight on the ground. I don't think Morgan Charrier will let it get to the ground. I think he'll piece him up on the feet. So give me Morgan Charrier to get it done. I think I wrote decision, did I not? No, I wrote TKO. Well, I'll go TKO. Kevin Doucette versus Brian Battle. Oh boy, I don't like picking against City Kickboxing. Usually when I do, I get burnt, and usually when I do pick them, I get burnt. Shame. Of all the gyms out there, City Kickboxing has the biggest collective of fighters I like the most. Like Hooker, you guys know he's my favorite, unfortunately. Kai Kara France. I don't like picking against them, but I kind of got in this aspect because Brian Battle, man, outside the one slip up to, I believe it was, who was that? Was that Renato Fakhretdinov? I think it was Renato Fakhretdinov. Yeah, outside the one slip up to Renato Fakhretdinov, since coming outside of the Ultimate Fighter, he's been on a rampage. He's really been on a rampage, man. Every win other than the Trajan Gore fight, all finishes, man. He's killing these guys. The Gabriel Green fight, I love that fight. Green just runs at him and they just start swinging in battles like, don't swing with me, dude. I'll knock you out. And then he was piecing up Angelusa so bad that he had to fake that freaking eye poke. Yeah, nah. That was. I mean, he got poked, but it wasn't that bad. For the case, because he was really raring to fight after the fight. But yeah, give me Battle to get this. Kevin Doucette can be very dangerous. His striking, and then City Kickboxing always has the same style, which can pose problems. But honestly, at this point, the person I think who's really using the City Kickboxing style the most effective is honestly Dan Hooker. And a lot of that is just because he's also mixing his just more pressure in his style and more just I'm willing to get hurt. I've seen some inklings of that with Kevin Doucette, but not enough to be taking on a Brian Battle. It's not going to the ground. I don't see him picking apart Brian Battle over 3 rounds. I think Battle's gonna dig it. He's gonna take it by TKO, honestly. All right, William Gomis versus Joanderson Brito. I don't like this fight. I'm gonna be really fast with this one. I think Gomis is going to win it by decision. I think he's going to be the more technical fighter. I think he's going to piece him apart overall. Brito can be a very good club and sub guy, but I don't see it. So give me Gomis to get it done. It's just that he's very small for the division, in my opinion. But Gomis decision. Nasruddin Imavov versus Brendan Allen. 2 guys, man, that I'm just not a fan of. Simple as that. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. I am not a fan of either of these guys. I hate their attitudes. Regardless, though, they're both very good fighters. I definitely think Allen lost his last fight, to be honest with you, against Chris Curtis, to be honest with you. But yeah, Nasruddin Imavov, he's a very good sniper. He can be a little bit too patient. He takes his time, I feel, a little bit too much. But when he does go, he goes, and he's got good power. Brendan Allen can have some decent power, but the main thing about Brendan Allen, though, is when he gets into the ground, he's dangerous. His club and sub is very dangerous. His takedowns could use some work. I think he'll struggle to take down Nasruddin Imavov, to be perfectly honest with you. But if he gets him down, he can put him in some dangerous spots. I just don't think he has the style needed to beat Imavov, who the person who implores that style is someone who's beaten Brendan Allen, which is Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland's point fighty, high guard defense, high pressure, but also low offense style is the style to beat Imavov, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think Allen's got that in him. He fights a little bit more reckless, a little bit more chaotic. I've seen him be a little bit more patient or reserved recently. But yeah, I'm going to be going Nasruddin Imavov, and I'm going to be taken by K. Oof. If it was 5 rounds, I would definitely be sure of KO, but now I'm thinking this. I don't know. I initially wrote down KO, so let's just stick with KO. And on to the main event of the evening. Renato Money Moicano, which I just learned is not actually his last name, versus Benoit Saint-Denis. God, I hate his face. What, like, what is, like, he has some kind of condition. I shouldn't make fun of that. He has a condition, but I just don't like it. Regardless, lightweight matchup. Renato Moicano is going to be 35 years of age, 19 wins, 5 losses, 1 knockout, 10 submissions, 5'11" in terms of height, orthodox stance, 72-inch reach, disadvantage, a 1.89 takedown average, a 54.89% significant strike accuracy, plus 215 underdog. Significant wins over God, how did he beat Jalen Turner? Significant wins over God, how did he beat Jalen Turner? God, how did he beat Drew Dober? Brad Riddell, and Alexander Hernandez. Benoit Saint-Denis is going to be 28 years of age, 35 wins, 2 losses, 4 knockouts, 9 submissions. Yes, I think he has, what, 1 decision? Am I doing my math right? Nope, 100% finish rate. He is 5'11" in terms of height, southpaw stance, 73-inch reach advantage, a 4.76 takedown average, a 62.71% significant strike accuracy. He is a minus 265 favorite. Match for vote. Oh, I forgot the odds for Imavov is a 218 favorite over Allen, by the way. And he has significant wins over Matt Frivola, Thiago Moises, Ismael Bonfim, and Gabriel Miranda. I picked against Benoit Saint-Denis in 3 out of 4 of those fights. I've never picked Benoit Saint-Denis in his UFC career other than, well, I didn't pick him in his first fight. I didn't make a pick in his first fight. Saw that. I was like, man, Dos Santos did that to you. I'm never picking you. And I stayed true, and I stayed wrong up until his last fight. But yes. And Renato Money Moicano, I also picked against him his last... I don't know if I picked Riddell. I think by that point I was done with Riddell. But I definitely picked Dover and Turner to beat him. And Turner honestly could have beaten him had he just attacked. But he wanted the walk-off KO and he paid the price for it. And he was Money Moicano's first knockout. That's pathetic. That's Jalen Turner never should show his face again. But yes. I'm not a fan of either guy, in case you couldn't tell. I don't dislike Benoit, but I definitely dislike Renato Moicano. I'm not a fan of him. Who I want to win, I'm picking between 2 guys I'm not a big fan of. I'd have to go Benoit Saint-Denis a little bit more, because I think he's more exciting, personally. Renato Moicano, I don't think he's that exciting. Sorry. I don't give a damn about how you talk on the mic. I hate his speeches. That doesn't excite me. Fighting wise inside the cage, Benoit Saint-Denis does bring it. Benoit Saint-Denis is coming off that crushing and brutal knockout loss to Dustin Poirier. I don't think it's too soon. I think he had some time to recover. 6 months should be okay, but still, man, the psychology of it is pretty big. And then the main thing is too, like, he fought like a dumbass in that fight. You just really wanted to get Dustin out of there. If he fights like that against Moicano, it might struggle. The person to ever beat up Moicano the best was a super slick striker like Rafael Fiziev, or an insane grindy kind of volume guy like RDA. Those guys beat Renato Moicano the absolute best in my honest opinion. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to be going with Benoit Saint-Denis as well too. I think he's more aggressive on the ground, on the feet, but he can get caught in some bad situations grappling wise. He can. But I don't know if he'll get there. I'm going to have to go with him. I'm going to take him by KO. I just have a feeling he'll knock out Moicano. Normally that's the fight I pick decision, but being 5 rounds, someone has to go. I really think being 5 rounds, someone is going to get served here. Someone's going to get knocked out. I'm just going to have to leave on the more accomplished... Yeah, technically more accomplished finisher's end, which is going to be Benoit Saint-Denis. So, yep, that is going to be my opinions for UFC Paris. Please let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. Let me know if you're finally excited to have fights and not be a massive break, especially since it's not at the Apex. But yes, this has been your boy Gomi. Bye-bye.